స్టార్ట్ చేశాను. హలో, స్టార్ట్ చేశానండి.
Namaskar. I hope you are all doing well. In this miserable situation, in this horrible situation, to motivate you spiritually, to attack your depressions, to attack your disappointments, I have decided to teach you some beautiful spiritual knowledge. As I have already clarified you many times, each and every single word of truth, each and every single sentence pertaining to your original consciousness will contribute to expand your consciousness. Especially, my strategy at this particular juncture is to construct a beautiful spiritual empire in your thinking pattern. I assure you, if you could understand the insight of Bhagavad Gita, particularly, especially Sankhya Shastra or Sankhya Yoga, a beautiful spiritual empire will be constructed in your thinking pattern. And we have already begun to construct a beautiful empire, spiritual empire in your thinking pattern. The synopsis of the teachings we have enriched ourselves so far can be declared like this: I am the consciousness, I am the Holy Spirit, I am the divine being, I am the joyous entity. Joy, ecstasy, bliss, exuberance, all this phenomenon, grandness, or my innate consciousness. I am an entity is going to exist forever and ever and ever and ever. Foreverness is my original consciousness. And death is not entitled to hamper my foreverness. Death is not entitled to hamper my foreverness. I am always there in the existence. I will always be there in the existence. I am always there in the existence. I will always be there in the existence. And there is no time where I was not there in the existence. And the grandness is, I am not being created by the creation. Actually, it is me who has created the creation. I have emerged into existence on my own. स्वयंभू के हैसियत से मैं अस्तित्व में आ पहुंचा. मेरा हैसियत स्वयंभू. I am not being created by someone else. I have emerged into existence on my own, including Sri Krishna. All the grandest entities, all the entities in the universe have emerged into existence at a stage. No one is senior to me, nor no one is junior to me. We are all gods equally, emerged at a time. I am the ancient being. My life is not dependent on the embodiment. The truth is, the life of embodiment is dependent on me. I being the soul, I being the spirit, if I withdrew myself from the premises of this embodiment is going to die. But my life continues forever and ever and ever and ever. So, being a soul, I am not dependent on the embodiment for my life. Actually, the embodiment is depending on me for its life. I am the giver of life to this embodiment. And one more thing is, supposing if this embodiment dies, if I really wish to advance this earth planet one more time, with just one creation, I can create a beautiful new embodiment for my new journey to earth planet or Terra. I can create number of embodiments. Every time I can create a new embodiment. Embodiment cannot create a soul, but soul can create a beautiful embodiment as per its requirements, as per its wishes. Another thing is, if you view or analyze this humanity from the foreverness point of view, you will realize that the so-called real life, the so-called physicality, that which is being experienced by the sensory organs, is not really real at all. There is no reality in the real life. There is no water in mirages. In the same way, there is no reality in the real life. It is only a virtual reality. What is incarnation? A sum of several incidents. Some incidents are advantageous to me, some incidents are miserable to me. But I have already realized all the incidents which are happening in my life from my birth till my death, all the incidents are illusion only. They are only myth. They are only image. They are only dramatic scenarios. iota of truth is not there. So, when I realized the human incarnation itself is myth, there cannot be advantageous incidents giving joy to me. There cannot be miserable incidents giving tragedy to me. So all the incidents which are happening in my life are only dramatic scenarios. When I realized this, I will not be contaminated. I will not be contaminating my thinking pattern with the data collected by the sensory organs. I will never ever corrupt my inner consciousness. I will never ever corrupt my thinking pattern with the data collected by the sensory organs. With the data collected by the sensory organs. This is the elixir, the crux of the teachings which I have taught you for the last 3 days. From chapter number 2, verse number 11, we have already learned 12, 13, 14. Today, we are going to inculcate the beautiful elixir taught by Sri Krishna in chapter number 2, verse number 15. In chapter number 2, verse number 15. Can you just read it?
Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 2, 15th sloka. Yam hina vedayante te purusham purusharshava samadukka sukham dhiram sromutattvaya kalpate. భావం ఏలనన ఓ పురుష శ్రేష్ఠ ధీరుడైన వాడు సుఖదుఖములను సమానముగా చూచును. అట్టి పురుషుని విషయేంద్రియ సంయోగములు చలింపజాలవు. అతడే మోక్షమును పొందుటకు అర్హుడు. హి ఏలనన పురుషర్షభ ఓ పురుష శ్రేష్ఠ సమదుఃఖ సుఖం సుఖదుఖములను సమానముగా చూచునట్టి యం ధీరం పురుషం ఏ ధీరుడైన పురుషుని ఏతే ఇవి విషయేంద్రియ సంయోగములు నా వెదయంతి వ్యాకులపరచవో సహా అతడు అమృతత్వాయ మోక్షం కొరకు కల్పతే యోగ్యుడగును.
See, my dear aspirants, I need your kind attention. The grandness of this sloka is Lord Sri Krishna, the beautiful scholar, the beautiful master teacher, the enlightened being. The master teacher is teaching us one beautiful quality which makes us entitled to accomplish immortality. My dear aspirants, my dear grandest beings, my dear heavenly beings, my dear co-gods, I bow my head very sincerely before every sincere aspirant. I appeal to each and everyone to kindly focus on this beautiful teaching with the art of listening. The grandness of this particular sloka, I am going to say chapter number 2, verse number 15. Lord Sri Krishna, the grandest master teacher, is teaching us a beautiful quality which makes us entitled to accomplish immortality. Yes, if you are smart enough to adopt with this beautiful quality, you are going to accomplish the beautiful phenomenon called immortality. Are you anxious to learn that beautiful quality? Yes. That quality is that human being who who is smart enough, who is grander enough to consider, to respond equally to all of the incidents which have happened in his life. In this sense, a scholarly being, a person who is successful in accomplishing wisdom, has already learned that he is going to exist forever and ever and ever and ever. As I already told you, if you are analyzing your humanity, the physicality, that life which is being experienced by sensory organs, you will realize that it is only a virtual reality. You will realize that there is no reality in your real life. Everything which is happening in your life from your birth to death is only a dramatic scenario. Nothing in your real life is real. Because, frankly speaking, I am a beautiful consciousness. I have preferred to play the character of Vivek for a while. Truly speaking, I am not Vivek. I am a consciousness. I am the grandest entity. I have preferred to play the character of Vivek for a while. And in the same way, my siblings, they have preferred to play the character for a while. So, the incidents happening between two fictitious persons is also not real. In the sense, a love between hero and heroine in a particular movie is not really real. So, as I have already made it very clear on the other day, if you are analyzing the humanity, the real life, from the point of view of your foreverness, you will realize that there is no iota of reality in your real life. We know that there is no water in mirages, there is no reality in the real life. An enlightened being who has sufficiently realized this truth, he will respond equally to the incidents which are advantageous to his character. He will also respond equally to the miserable incidents which have happened in his life, because in his inner consciousness he knows pretty well that it is only a scenario, nothing, it is only a dramatic scenario, as I already made it very clear. A beautiful actor plays a particular character in a particular movie. The character of the characters, the scenarios which have happened in that character, nothing is really real. Nothing is really real. It is only a fiction. So, naturally, a person who has realized his original truth, when his neurological brain is loaded with, nurtured with the beautiful spiritual knowledge, naturally, he will not be influenced by the incidents which are happening in his real life. The data collected by the sensory organs is not going to contaminate his thinking pattern. Whatever incidents may happen in his real life, he may become very grand rich person, the owner of house, the owner of a richest empire. Next moment, he may lose all his money and he may suffer with poverty. Still, his inner consciousness is unshakable. still is impeccable. His inner is impeccable. That entity, that scholarly being, that enlightened being, who is impeccable, who has not contaminated his thinking pattern with the data collected by the sensory organs, that pure entity, that grandest entity, is entitled for accomplishing immortality. I doubt whether you are able to follow me or not. Please bear with me. Try to understand. Have some patience and perseverance. Please understand the insight of this beautiful spiritual discourse. We are all worried about death. We are all interested to have the phenomenon, miraculous immortality. And Lord Sri Krishna astonishingly teaches a beautiful quality which makes us entitled for immortality. And what is that beautiful quality? An aspirant who is nurtured with, whose neurological brain is nurtured with truth, spiritual knowledge, he realizes that he is going to exist forever and forever and forever and forever. When he has begun to analyze his humanity, analyze his real life from the point of view of his foreverness, he will understand all the incidents which have happened in his real life from the birth till the death. Nothing is really real. It is only a virtual reality. It is only a virtual reality. It is only a fiction. It is only a drama. When once you have realized that there is no iota of reality in real life, when once the enlightened being has realized that this is a myth, then naturally his inner consciousness is not being influenced by the incidents which are happening in the real life. I mean to say, his thinking pattern is not being contaminated by the data collected by the sensory organs. Then he is so grand, so beautiful, so joyous. His joy continues forever. In spite of all the intricacies happening in his real life, in spite of all the hardships which he is facing in the real life, but still his inner is always full, always grand, always beautiful, loaded with ecstasy. That entity is entitled for immortality. That entity is entitled for immortality. Am I clear? So with this teaching, let us shift our gears and learn something of chapter number 2, verse number 16. The next sloka. So, I think it's better for this episode, chapter number 2, verse number 15 is enough. Tomorrow we are going to, in the next episode we are going to learn chapter number 2, verse number 16. For today, I want to take leave from you, my dear aspirants. Never ever get disappointed. Never ever get depressed. All the gods, all the enlightened beings, whom you are praying now, whom you are adoring now, like Sri Krishna, like Balaji, like Vishnu, all those grandest entities when they are embodied into an environment, when they are playing the character of human, they have also suffered with same struggles, same anxieties, same ignorance, same tragic moments, same ailments in their embodiment. But nothing has stopped them. In spite of all the intricacies they have faced in this real life, they have become beautiful seekers. Learning of knowledge, they have learned knowledge on a continuous basis. They have nurtured their neurological brain with the beautiful spiritual knowledge. Endeavor for enlightenment has never been stopped. They are seekers continuously. Each and every single minute of their life has been spent to learn knowledge, to inculcate knowledge, to reform their thinking pattern. They have given topmost priority, utmost priority for knowledge, for wisdom, for introspection, for contemplation. And the more and more hardships they are facing in their life, the more and more they have given priority to the inculcation of knowledge. Those seekers ultimately have transformed themselves into an enlightened beings, into a pure, perfect gods. So I appeal to each and everyone, don't waste this incarnation for physicality. Enjoy this life, celebrate this life, have some fun in the real life. But your fun, your physicality should not be at the cost of your spirituality. Your humanity should not be at the cost of spirituality. Learn spirituality. Give topmost priority to knowledge. Once you are successful in enriching with the beautiful knowledge, I am sure you are going to become enlightened. Once you are enlightened, you are no more human beings. You say a grand goodbye to your humanity and you enter into your spiritual realm, divine empire. Hoping to see you as an enlightened beings, hoping to see you as beautiful gods, hoping to see you as joyous entities. For today, I take leave from you and I salute each and every beautiful aspirant. Namaskar. Jai Oscar.